MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace. And officially, your weekend is over. It's done. You're back to work. You got to do whatever they tell you.
That's right. In the blink of an eye, it's gone.
Yes. One of the saddest stories that rolled out of this weekend was Naomi passed away.
Yes.
The induction to the Country Music Hall of Fame carried on last night, and an emotional. I just posted that. If you want to see that in a little while, it's on our page there where you can watch the induction of how it was handled. A sad moment.
That is sad, and I don't quite understand. They said that she had died of mental illness, so I'm not sure. I
would translate that into she took her own life is what I would. Now, they haven't said that.
That's what I was wondering. You know, I didn't know if she'd I know they said that I read further into some articles, and they said that she had really suffered from major depression for a long time. So,
again, we can't confirm that, but it
sad,
sure looks like that.
Yeah.
Such hit makers, and here's the induction last night on stage there. Of course, Ashley and Winona. I even went back and I found it was a pretty cute thing of when they first started. Winona was still in high school. Naomi was a nurse, and before she'd go to school, they would go to a local TV station and do a song or two once or twice a week. And I think they sang, what was it, Coat of Many Colors by Dolly. Good rendition of that. But we pass along condolences to their families.
Yes.
Tragedy. She was 76 years old, and I did not see that coming at all.
I had seen where when they stopped touring a while back, like I don't know how many years ago that's been, but they said that she went into a major depression for like 2 years. She didn't leave the house. She didn't get
makes you wonder, was it anxiety tied with going back on the road, doing some more concerts? You know, they were booked in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, if I'm not mistaken, on that show.
Yeah, they were supposed to go on one more tour, right?
Yes. So that will be no more, the tour that never happened.
Yes.
Awful there. As we're waking up, this is May. Can anyone believe that?
I know it.
That spells hot weather.
It's getting hot fast, too, yes.
We're into the 70s now, headed for a high of about 86 today. Chance of afternoon showers. And I want to point out, let's look at this. We've got fog this morning. Kemper County is still thick right now as we pull this up to show everybody. Thick fog here in Kemper and also in Neshoba County, starting to creep into Noxubee and Winston County. Around Sugarlock, y'all have got some. Be careful. All of this area here in Alabama, that is and we also added Wayne County here to this dense fog advisory south of us. So lots of fog. And I wanted to point this out. This is going to be North Mississippi today of the severe weather. As we look at this picks up around Tupelo in these areas. Right there, they've got a level 4 now as we look for tornadoes around Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you've got friends, family, that was just upgraded a few moments ago.
Goodness.
And we'll look. Have you seen the video of those tornadoes?
In Kansas?
Yes.
No, but I've read the headlines about how bad it was. I've not seen any pictures.
I have never seen a tornado that close of the video they got. And what I'm doing is trying to get to that to show you just a little snippet. It's dangerous, and especially during the daytime as we look at this as it comes about.
I wonder if they had like warning of it.
Yes, they had warning of it.
So they had plenty of time to prepare, maybe.
But this thing was bad to the bone. I hadn't quite gotten there yet. It is so big.
That's always scary, and I can't imagine these people being this close. Oh my goodness, to take a picture like that, I would have been gone.
A real rough one there.
That is awful.
So. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and they get closer. Look at that as it goes up in the sky there. Now, he's driving his car.
Yeah, I'd be getting out of Dodge right there.
And there it comes back. It just shows how big these things are. Look at that.
It's just, how it just...
165 mile an hour winds with that. And then it just shoots. It's, in 1 degree, it is beautiful but destructive. What Mother Nature can do to you.
That's so scary.
Now, and again, when we talk about tornadoes and warnings are issued, you may not always be able to see it, but that's what they look like, up close and personal.
Look, he looks like he's driving towards
He is. And that is a storm chaser as he goes right into the eye of that.
Look at all the debris.
Yeah.
That thing.
And it is deadly, and they have had loss of life there.
That's gracious.
So
that's like vehicle. It looks like in the air.
Boom! Up in the air it went, and it just goes on and on and on of how massive that storm was.
Looks like something out of a movie. That movie Twister.
Yeah. And back then you think, oh, ain't nothing that big. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Here's that's a different scary view of that. Just so you'll see that in the air there. I just always want everybody to respect those storms because they are some kind of bad.
They can be like turn and go another direction too. That's what the scary thing. These storm chasers out there are risking their lives.
Yeah,
scary.
A lot of that.
We're glad that they can bring us, footage of it, but at the same time, not me.
Well, also with that being said, there was some students, and it wasn't calls from the storm. And I got the story up here somewhere where we'll talk about it this morning, where 3 storm chasers were out. They were from a school. They were on the way back from that, and they were involved in a wreck and were killed. They were going to meteorology school and did not survive the wreck. Crossed the line, don't know whose fault it was, but did not make it back out of that. Lots have gone on over the weekend, as we all find out. And I posted this, I think it was Saturday, or maybe late Friday. It was late Friday about the confidential information that was discovered in a dumpster in Lauderdale County. I called and spoke to the Mississippi Insurance Commission. They are investigating with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. And this is what this looked like. Let me pull this up. sammedia.network. That's files is what that is. As we go through these, what does that have? Confidential information. That was the name of the company there, and it's got Social Security numbers, birthdays, dates of birth, all of that information, your addresses of the people that was with that company, and they are being investigated. The best I can tell, that company is out of business. How the files ended up there, I'm unaware of.
Yeah, because it says Jackson, Mississippi.
Right. It can be based out of Jackson, and maybe somebody from here was we don't know. It's a lot of ifs.
It makes you wonder, though. But stuff like that, even if you do go out of business, I would imagine stuff like that needs to be destroyed, not just pitched.
Yeah. I want to say, there's certain areas it has to be
because there's
shredded.
There is personal information, that on those things.
Yeah, and in the comments on that, there's all about that. You can read more about it. I'm assuming with that comment there about the GoFundMe account, I'm assuming you're talking about the 3 young men that lost their lives in the tornado this weekend that were driving. I'm assuming that. Joey Settle watching us all the way from Carthage this morning. Glad to see you. Now, another thing that happened over the weekend was a pedestrian was struck in the middle of I-20 once again. This happened near Motel 6. Lots of reports on this. So let's pull this up. We go back to sammedia.network. Here's the pictures of what went on there. Plenty of cops on the situation and what happened. We're understanding that the person walked across the interstate, paused, and stood in the middle of the road, and a car struck them. Now, as witnesses tell me that the person went up in the air, came back down, and landed on top of the car, and as you see in the movies where somebody will crash through the back glass. He was alive when he was taken to the hospital. I'm sure he's in pain, but alive. That's rough there.
Yeah, I just wish people wouldn't try to cross.
Yeah, how do you keep people from doing this?
I don't know, but it's just, this is it's around about the same area.
Yes.
Where all the restaurants or hotels are, but I don't know.
You could simply walk right down toward Walmart, go under the underpass. It takes a little bit longer, but you have your life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I've been in other towns to where I didn't want to get in a vehicle to go to, but I am not crossing the road. It just, people can't see you at night, and there's just no way to stop on a dime on an interstate. And so sad.
Even if you crossed the lanes and got to the center, it's still not safe.
No.
Right there, it's not safe.
And
it's too close to the road. It's just.
I'd heard at one time people wanted to install chain link fence down these areas where people couldn't cross.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the answer.
I mean, it might help, if it was tall enough to where they couldn't just hop right over it. But I don't know.
Some
It's
thoughts.
awful, though.
Some thoughts. Maybe city
Hopefully
leaders.
that person's going to be okay, but that's scary.
Maybe they'll come up with something. And I think that falls upon the state with that being an interstate.
Yeah. Somebody put that they could create an upper walkway across like the other cities, but
They didn't use the one we had on 39 there. And it's a wonder we don't have more accidents happen over there on Highway 39 there by Dairy Queen.
yeah.
And there's all constant wrecks
Yes,
there.
It is. People trying to beat the traffic going across.
It almost needs to be a red light there.
Right. And you know how when you turn the little, where you turn in,
To
the little
Dairy
roads
Queen?
where you could, the crossway where you can cross one lane over to across
Yeah,
the
in the
road.
middle.
And where people can turn, nobody ever goes by the rules of the turning. You're supposed to go down and come
On the far
like
side.
this, go on down, but nobody ever does that.
No.
So there's so many wrecks. But
Nothing bothers me worse than to be sitting in the middle of one of these intersections and the car across the other pulls up beside me. And now you have two sitting there and then you can't see oncoming traffic to
Yeah.
pull out. That bothers me to no end.
I know.
But it's a everyday thing
It
that
is.
happens. So much going on this morning. Y'all stay close. We've got a lot to discuss of what's happened in our area across here in Meridian and across the state and nation. It's all on the way. Stay close. We got more coming. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Idaho potatoes, a 8-pound bag, $3.99. Fresh blueberries, $3.99. Dixie Crystal Sugar, a 4-pound bag, only $2.39. Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $11. Brine Wieners, $1.69 for a 12-ounce package. And certified Angus beef, top sirloin steak, $6.29 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
After a long day at work, I was hit by a truck less than a mile from my house. I'm LaTanya from Hattiesburg. I've worked hard all my life, but I found out the hard way insurance companies can abandon their customers when they need them the most. I needed someone that would work and fight for me, so I called Richard Schwartz, and I'll tell you, I'm forever grateful I made that call.
Remember, I'm your Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
So you ever walk like that and dance and smile and jump?
not in public.
Okay. Just checking there. Oh, as we go to some news that happened over the weekend, Saturday night, a Lauderdale County deputy was involved in a chase. Mm-hmm. The person wrecked. So did the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. It wasn't major. It was a minor accident, but we thought we'd show you the pictures of what did go on there. Some damage to the rear, blew out of tires. He chased a person that I think they ended up running on foot after they had their car damaged. So that went on Saturday night, but again, no one hurt. Thank goodness. We can't have folks hurt. We don't want that to happen without a doubt. Right. Well, let's talk about this. Here we go. Anybody notice any of this weekend?
Gunfire, yeah.
And it was a lot. Friday night, a lot of gunfire happened along that 19 corridor, or you want to call it Highway 11, all the way up to College Park, mostly to the east. As we got over here, 44th through about 48th Avenue, to the east of 19, just north of Meridian Cycles in that little area. Saturday night was kind of calm. I think there was one shot heard around the world in Meridian on Saturday night. Nothing to it. Could have possibly been a firecracker. Who knows? I'm going to go more toward the gun, but you can give it. Last night, it heated up. Now, we have no one that is hurt, and I have no reports of car damage, or I have no reports of anyone hurt. But boy, the areas, and let's just look at some of these areas last night of where this happened. As we go to these, it's going to be the North Meridian area is what we got last night. As we go to here, all of this area here, here's Highland Park. Numerous shots in between here and all the way up toward the country club. 29th, we've got 19th and 29th Avenue. reports there. And again, here is the Anderson's Hospital. Here's Highland Park, just east of there. As we come across here, and we see that we had 38th and Grandview. Now, that's real close to Country Club.
Yeah.
Right in that area. You come right up here is going to be North Hills. You take that right, and you could go this way to Meridian High or go up to Grandview, and there you go. It's just numerous.
Yeah.
I didn't look at how many there were, but 10 different areas possibly last night. It just goes on. Even on, I got a note about Royal Road as we look at this one here. Here's Highland Park just due north of there. Lots of action on that road a lot of times. The person told me they heard, sounded like machine guns going off. It was so loud, woke them up.
I saw last night where somebody had posted they thought they heard gunfire around the Martin area. It sounded like somebody may be shooting out the window of a car. I don't know, but
now in county you can shoot all you want. It is legal in a county to shoot,
but not out the window of the car.
Well, no, you can't do that. But you can shoot in a county, and it's not against the law. It is against the law in the city to fire a firearm.
I know a lot of people have like targets that they do target practice or stuff like that out in the county.
Well, they may work a shift, can only shoot at night, Candace.
I doubt it, but
But that's the news of what went on there. Maybe you heard some of this. Mm-hmm. Again, we're glad no one was hurt with any of this. Jackson, Mississippi was total different. Yeah. If you haven't heard about this so far, they had their big Mudbug festival this weekend. It went great during the daytime, right up until Saturday night, when 5 people were shot and injured and 1 died.
Oh, my goodness.
What do? This is becoming, anytime that you have these large groups of people, is this gang related? Mm-hmm. I would bet my wooden nickel that I still got in my Carhartt jacket that it is. I'm going to go there and think that it is. This around Meridian is. So, Dad, do you feel comfortable? And I'm asking this as a question. Do you feel comfortable anymore going to large gatherings? Or is it getting to the point you'd rather just stay at home and hear about it?
I don't know. I read a feed the other night. It was about people feeling safe, coming to Meridian and stuff now. And there was a lot of people who said they didn't. A lot of people, it was really a discussion about the carousel and where it's located. And a lot of people think it needs to be relocated somewhere else. And some people think that it should stay where it's at because it's historic. And
I don't care if it's historical or not, it needs to be moved.
It does need to be. I believe it needs to be moved. Now, I grew up going to Highland Park. We got snowballs. We fed the animals. We rode on the carousel, and it was great. And I miss that. I miss that I can't take my kids there, and couldn't. But it does need to be to where it can be accessed without people feeling, unsafe, and it being an unsafe area, because there has been activity going on over there. And it's just a matter of time before something happens to the place. I mean, it's just people don't have
vandalism.
Right. People, they don't respect the stuff in our city. And just because it's historic does not mean, that they're going to respect that. I really wish that it could be relocated. Now, I know there's a lot of red tape, like we discussed about that, because it is historic. But I think there's certain things that could possibly help in the movement of it,
It'd be extremely expensive as well.
Yeah, it would be. I
don't have the answers,
idea,
but
hopefully something can be done, and it could be possibly moved. And do I hope, that Highland Park does turn back around and it gets better one day? Hopefully, yes.
Well, and we hope that for the entire city, but we've got to have our city leaders speak up, do something. Now, there is absolutely nothing planned on the carousel. I want to say that. I know of nothing. It's just talk.
No, that was just a discussion that people have brought up. No, there's no intent on moving it or anything like that. We were just giving an opinion, and I read it, and there had a lot of people had a lot of input on it. So.
Right.
But I hope that, things do turn around and get better. And I think they are trying to crack down. You know, we went down the area. We were headed to town, and we went that way the other night where all the shootings and stuff like had happened.
Just see if you could make it. Is that what it was? Like a family gang?
No, but a lot of people go that way to hit the interstate, you know. So we went that direction, and I did see a lot of presence of police just sitting on the sides of the road and stuff. So they were there, you know.
It's going to take more of that.
Yeah.
It's going to take city leaders doing what they were elected to do. Oh, that's just a thought. Just in my head. I had a note, and I always appreciate notes that come in. And I wanted to share this of some thoughts that was sent in to me. And if you've got an opinion, I'd love to hear from you. It says, I heard you say the other day that gang activity really started in the Meridian area right after Katrina. That's partially true, but the rise of gangs, in my opinion, started with the uptick of crack cocaine. Marijuana was a substance that, although profitable for the big drug dealer, was a drug that didn't incite violence. Cocaine and crack was highly addictive and caused the users to do anything to obtain it. Gangs saw that it was a profit and carved out territories to sell and distribute it. It's cheap to buy for the dealer, and the market continues to grow. This comes with prescription abuse. The dealers got so rich they needed protection, and the creation of the gang came about. Now your gangs are into drugs and guns, both money makers for those at the top of the mountain. Enter Hollywood, who portrayed gangbangers as the cool cats, and the music industry also produced gang-type lyrics that became popular. Gangs are so big now that they will resort to violence and murder, and the young soldiers are indoctrined to be violent and to do anything for the gang, which is now their family. That was a comment that was sent in to me this weekend. And boy, that really makes a lot of sense. And that is about Meridian, of people that live in our community that sit and watch it. Something to think on there.
Yeah. It's scary, though, you know, that our young people can be gotten, you know, brought into that so easily.
Yeah.
You know.
We have Denise saying that she'd rather it stay at Highland Park, have more security.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you can, whichever side of the fence you're on that. I just know I'm not... I won't be going to festivities there.
Yeah, I know Denise said that she disagrees it should be moved and it should stay there and be restored. And my only thing is, I think that would be great. But what are we going to do in the meantime if something happens to the place? You know, then it's gone, you know.
Well, security is an answer, but there's not enough of the cost of... It goes with that. No, the community has got to step up. I don't have all the answers, and I got several calls Friday of people wanting to do something, and I put a couple of people together to let them talk. Maybe they can do something, of put together something bigger than a neighborhood watch. I don't have the answers, but it is time for discussions of what are we going to do.
Yeah, it's past time, I think. You know, because I mean, I believe that it's gotten so big now. The problem has that it's just really. It's hard to even try to scratch the surface of getting down to the
here's
of it.
We go here back to Sam Mitty here of the arrest that happened in Meridian. This was for the murder that happened there on Highway 19, there at the Exxon station. He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And that happened there at that Exxon there last week there on Thursday. And then we had the shooting Thursday night. He goes on and on and on. But the average citizen cannot sit back and just go, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not calling the police. That doesn't concern me. We're in a world of hurt now. We need our city leaders to be leaders.
Yeah.
Because we got, 2 more years before another election at least.
It is sad, though, that people don't feel safe doing the things that they enjoyed doing when they were younger, you know, going to the park and stuff. It's just... I
understand things change, but crime should not be the one that changes things.
Yeah.
Draw a line, take care of it. That's what we got to do. Let's see here. And again, we'd love to have your thoughts on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We appreciate, I mean, everybody's got an opinion, and we appreciate everybody's opinion and love to hear it.
A lot of people posting that they just avoid the area. Just don't go there anymore.
Yeah. And, you know, it is, I mean, I'm the same way. I'll avoid certain areas, but just because, I mean, we avoid it, it doesn't mean that it's
Don't fix it, does it?
That's right, it doesn't. And I think there's it's been a lot of maybe I want to say officials maybe kind of avoided the issue, thinking it might get better in time. But
And y'all don't think for 1 minute that there aren't people on the streets of here who keep up where the police are and call other people and go, all right, they're on this side of town. That happens every night. They call each other and let them know where the police are, and then they go into an area where police aren't or know when to strike a certain area.
yeah.
They do that. That's just a fact of things that go on there. Changing the subject to a state thing. I mentioned this earlier this morning. Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, he's a pretty likable fellow. Wears the cross. I think he's a born again Christian. He doesn't sometimes know when to back down. He's a fighter. He just keeps going. He was on Twitter for about 4 hours before they zapped him again. You know, he was banned for life. So he opened a new account and said, "It's me, it's me, it's me." Again, Margaret. Once they discovered he had about 50,000 people following him, zap, they got him. Because he's been banned.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the change in regime, once it happens, allows Mike Lindell to have his own account. This morning I thought, well, wait a minute, he'd done something wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He just started it and made a simple post. It is really me.
Yeah. Well, you know, did they ban him after he had that? I don't know if you watched that show that he did one night on all the
Election fraud
stuff that he was, you know.
He had some diagrams and he was getting at it.
Yeah.
They didn't appreciate that too much.
Yeah, I think that's maybe
A
when
lot
he
of them. And then when
put the nail in the coffin.
When he brought up the name of the company, and when you do accusations and you go, I've got you better have 100% to back it up. Is what he's saying true? I don't know. I haven't seen any of that information.
Yeah.
But it sure got him banned. But I'll give him credit for this. When he believes in something, that man don't back down.
No, he don't.
I mean, he stays true. He's a true friend of Donald Trump, without a doubt. And he risked business and everything. He lost a lot of money. He was jerked out of stores, his products thrown out. Bed Bath and Yonder, I think, got rid of him.
Well,
She didn't
they're
even
no
catch
more.
that. Just
Yes,
right over her head.
I did catch that.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah, they gone.
Yes, they are. At least from here they are.
Yeah, from here.
Here's something interesting, and I hope this happened. You brought this up last week. I forget why we brought it up, but y'all remember the name JonBenet Ramsey.
Yes.
The little girl who was murdered, 96 is when it was. Her father, who is still alive, is urging them to open the case back up and do DNA testing with the technology that is out there. Well, wouldn't this be good?
Yeah, it would be. Because I would think that it would pinpoint. It could
take
pinpoint exactly.
Yeah. It'd take anybody out that wasn't there.
If that's still available. I mean, I would think it would be. The case is not
Signs.
closed, is it? Or is it a closed case?
But
I
the
don't know.
files would still be there.
Right.
I don't know if it's, truthfully, I don't know whether it's officially closed or it just lies kind of open there.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that DNA stuff works. I know I've heard people send in, I guess, samples of DNA type stuff. I don't know if it's saliva.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
take
know how
a
they
swab
do. Yeah. And like they can be matched with a birth father or
On
a
CSI
birth,
Miami,
any
they
kind
just
of-
wait for you to set your coat down and then go grab the can and arrest you for murder 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
And Horatio stands in the corner and does that stare.
Yeah. See the one with the glasses
Yeah.
that he does stand.
And of course, if you'll remember Horatio, he was the one from Rambo, the redhead where they had him up against the wall, sprayed him down, Rambo with the water hose. That's Horatio, if y'all remember, the redheaded cop in that movie.
Okay.
Mary says that the pillows are cheap now. I paid $60 a piece for mine. I think I need to send them back.
You did?
Yeah, I paid.
You
They
didn't
were.
like 'em?
No, I got it. It's lumpy, and it says you wash them and put them in the dryer, and they're guaranteed, I think, for 10 years.
Huh.
So I need to see about sending it back.
He's got my pillow, my bathrobe,
My slipper.
My slipper.
The man is a genius with inventing products, and they
even-
trust him.
Yeah, they even have like mattress covers, dog beds.
Yeah.
My pillow, dog beds.
It's
Goodness.
he got a lot going on. I'm
Yeah.
glad he can keep up with all of that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure he's working on a new product. He has to reinvent it to keep it going and keep you. When will he ever get the Snuggie that's bound to come?
I don't know, but I'm going to find a Snuggie and bring it to you. I think you love the Snuggies.
My mother gave me something that, or was it Angie, that pulls over your head? It's like I ain't wearing that either.
Is it like a scarf type thing?
No, it's
but it's a hood.
It's got a hood on it. It comes over you. You can't really move around in it good.
Oh, it might be good to honey in if you cut you a couple of handholds.
If you'll remember that Snuggie thing, all those commercials where everybody at the football games were wearing them, I've yet to walk through a football stadium and see 50 people wearing them.
Well, if I'd have had a Snuggie at one of those soccer games that I had on about 2 or 3 pairs of pants, and the buddy heater and everything, I'd have wore one in a heartbeat. I'd have had a Snuggie on.
Ooh, Mary says they're half price now, 2 for $30. That's less than half. That's a quarter of what I paid.
Oh, okay.
$15 a holler is what that sounds like. There you go. Let's talk about our friends over at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151. They've been there, same place since 32, taking care of it. And they got the hottest chicks in town right now.
All right.
Ready to come on home with you. Check them out. If you need some eggs, they'll produce it for you. Pine Straw has arrived. A whole truckload of this if you're putting this around your flower beds, making your yard look better.
I've got to have some pine straw.
They'll do that. They'll load it up for you, too.
Yeah.
So you won't itch. They got sod and all kinds of great things like that as you get into all the flowers and different things that you can do to add a little oomph to your yard. Because spring is here, almost summer. Make sure you've got the best looking yard around you can with T-shirts and ball caps and work clothes. They've got it, including comfortable shoes, and they've even got work boots, rubber boots as well. Georgia, you'll like them. Ariat, as well as those twisted eggs, pet supplies, and a whole lot more as you go through with horse and cattle feed. It's all there for you at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in. Guns and ammo and a whole lot more. Exit 151. Visit with them today. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And somebody made a comment about where I was talking about how criminals keep up with the police. And as she says, they keep up with it through family members. It's a network. You can do what you need to. Hey, let's step back in time and go over a few things that happened on this date. And I think that it's almost like they need to give a free copy of this to a lot of homes. Like tape it to their front door.
Good housekeeping.
The very first magazine was published in 1885. And it still exists. I don't know what they teach you there about cleaning anymore, but they do show pretty homes and what you can do to have curb appeal. Those good
You get a lot of
articles.
tips in the Good Housekeeping magazine. You know, a lot of different little things to help you take care of your problem.
Candace is my conspiracy theorist, and let me ask, do you believe in this one? Do you think this creature exists? The first time we heard of it was on this date in 1933. I've seen the pictures. There'd be a large lump, and what am I talking about? The Loch Ness Monster. Do you believe it exists?
I don't know. I've seen pictures like people have posted a lot of times. I mean, and they're all the same kind of like. Usually, it's got like a little humps in the water. So I don't know.
Lake Erie is where it's supposed to be, isn't it? Isn't that where Loch Ness? No, maybe not. I could be wrong on where that is, but the Loch Ness Monster. Do you believe?
I don't know. I'd hate to meet him face to face. Be out in a boat or something, you know.
I can't say that I ever liked any of his music, but I know he was big at some point. He just wasn't my type. After the Lovin' was his big hit. Engelbert
Humperdinck.
Now, can you imagine as a first grader trying to learn how to write your own name with that?
I know. I can't imagine. I mean, I know that's probably his real name.
Engelbert. Who would name themselves
But don't
Engelbert?
you think somebody would have, like, you know how some people will try to change people's names and give them a stage name?
Why don't they just call him Bert?
Yeah.
One name like Winona or Elvis, Bert.
Yeah, Bert Dink.
Yeah. After the Lovin'. I'm sure he had other songs, but I couldn't tell you what they were. Maybe you were a big one there.
Yeah.
Scotland, Maureen says, is where that Loch Ness monster is.
In Scotland.
There you go.
Goodness.
1948, this old boy done well in country music. And the biggest song I think that most people would, well, there was two, but All the Gold in California would be known as one of the Gatlin brothers' biggest hits. Larry, the leader of them, is having a birthday today. You see him on Fox News a lot now. He's become a real political analyst after that music career went.
You know who he favors so much to me is Rand. Is it Rand Paul?
Rand Paul? Yeah, he does have that
He
kind of look.
does favor him to me. Like they could be kin somehow.
He also reminds me of the guy, and I don't remember the guy's name, but the love interest of Sue Ellen from Dallas when she was having that affair on JR back in the 80s of the cowboy. What was his name? Dusty on the show?
Oh, yeah.
He looks a lot, he resembles, look at that. He does resemble that.
He does kind of favor him.
Maybe he played the part and I just don't know it.
He could have. I don't know.
Makes you say, Larry Gatlin there. Let's see what else went on today. What we got there?
Denise said Arnold George Dorsey is his real name.
Engelbert's?
So they went from that to Engelbert Humperdinck. Huh.
Boy, I'm glad they're not in charge of my publicity.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of odd, but anyway.
Yeah. Engelbert. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term pay to play?
I have heard that.
If you're not familiar with what that is, back in the early days, record companies would pay disc jockeys, people that were on TV, a little money on the side to play somebody's song. Did it happen? It absolutely did. And it would go on through heavy up into the 2000s of, hey, if you play this song, you and your family get to go to Disneyland this weekend. Just play this song a little bit more. Well, in 1960, it really, as they say, got up amongst the fan. Dick Clark was called before Congress. Dick Clark had his hands in, he was given numerous stakes in record companies and people that he might have had a little ownership in, and he had to speak. He was cleared of all the charges in 1960, and they said he was just a good old boy that was caught up in the casualty of the system. But pay to play was happening.
Huh.
That was 1960 when all that went on. And it, again, no one listens to the radio quite like, because it's all gone digital now. It's changed and cut back on that of what record labels pay and all of that. 1969, you still hear this song played today. Galveston was the #1 song on radio, with Glenn Campbell being the guy behind it. Put that place on the map, so to speak.
Yeah.
1969 would be the last new episode we would see of this. They're still played in reruns today. Anybody remember this show?
We watched it the other night.
Gomer.
Yeah. We were watching it the other night where he had this, what was the guy's name? Over here, the little short guy. What was his name?
His commanding officer?
Yeah. I can't remember his name. But
Sergeant
anyway.
something.
Yeah. He was thinking that Gomer Pyle was some kind of somebody's son that was real famous, and he had him he was shining his shoes and everything, trying to help him out when he first entered the military because he didn't know what he was doing. And then he found out he wasn't, so he was mad. But it's a cute show, though.
It worked out well for them for quite some time. Let's see here.
Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant Carter. Thank you. I should have known that as many times as I've watched that. Winnie Bartley says she loved Engelbert back in the day when he was hot and all that. I guess he did have like a thing women found attractive probably back in the day. Maybe a heartthrob. Is that what they called it?
I guess so.
Sergeant Margie, thank you for passing that on to us. We appreciate that. Let's see, 1972, and you would really have to search far and wide to find anybody any nicer than this guy. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was born in 1972 on this day. I don't know what they're going to do about all that swelling up that boy's got. I mean, it's like he's got something's wrong.
Yeah, he does seem like a nice guy, though. He does a lot of nice things for people.
He does. And I did watch Razzle Dazzle. Is that what it was? It was good. I don't care who you are.
His little girl.
Yeah.
Little girl. Yeah.
That was a cute movie if you ever get a chance to watch this. It was #1, but I won't say it was one of his most loved or most remembered songs. But Merle Haggard had a #1 song on this date called It's All in the Movies back in 1976. About this time, I would be walking, Northeast, and we had the bicentennial celebration. I got to help tote the flag back then.
All right.
Across the gymnasium floor. Where were you in 76?
I was 2 years old.
Okay, I was 7, so there's 5 years. Hey, back in the day, I think most men will agree that this was one of the hottest women that was on television at the time. Anybody remember watching The Fall Guy? The last episode aired on this date back in 86.
What was her name? Do you know?
Heather Locklear is her real name. And,
that was Heather Locklear?
Yeah.
It doesn't look
Terry,
like Heather.
if I remember right, was her character's name on there.
Okay.
She was also on T.J. Hooker.
Yeah.
A few other
I didn't
shows.
think that was Heather Locklear, though. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I think so.
I don't know.
Google it. You got a
I don't
phone?
know. I don't know. Look, y'all Google it. It takes me forever to do anything.
I'm pretty sure that's who that is.
Yeah, I'll Google it while Scotty Ray's
Okay,
talking.
let's look at our next thing. 1989. He was slick. Security would be called as he went into a jewelry store, and they go, "There's a guy that looks a little weird here. We think something is fixing to happen." Well, it turned out to be it was Michael Jackson. He was disguised. He had a ball cap on. Police called.
The nose should have gave it away.
But you would almost think that was somebody a little older than him. But it was Michael Jackson trying to walk in, false teeth, the whole 9 yards. He was detained and turned.
Heather Thomas is the girl's name. You had the first name right.
Well, I was close.
But Heather Locklear was in T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, she was TJ. I thought it was the same one. Heather Thomas.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, thanks for correcting me. Boy, she don't look the same now.
Well, it said 64. I don't know how recent that picture is, but yeah. Anyway, Heather Thomas.
Put your phone down. I don't want to see that again. I want to live in 1986. I don't ever want to see that again.
She was not an ugly. I mean, she was. Anything wrong with
That
her?
just really weren't my image of that show.
Scotty Ray. People age. My
they
gosh.
may age, but in
Oh,
my
Lord.
mind, every day is 1986, and she's just as hot as she was. That was whoo, took my breath away.
Oh goodness.
I didn't
She's
like
still
this
pretty.
show. I have to be honest. It ended on this day back in 1991, and I just never got it. Maybe it was because I couldn't get over the character that he used to play.
Yeah.
Because he was daddy.
On
And
Happy
him
Days.
Yeah, Happy Days. And then him becoming a priest and solving mysteries
Yeah.
never worked for me. The Father Dowling mysteries last aired on this date.
I remember watching that a good bit though.
It just
Yeah.
never fit.
Yeah.
There's certain people that once they become a character, never do it. You know, Andy Griffith had trouble after he got off of Mayberry of not being able to get roles because of
Right.
what he did.
But he did play too. Totally. I mean, he was still like in stuff with the law. Or, you know, being
that
a
worked
lawyer,
out when he made
but-
his Matlock.
Right.
But, you know, like television shows and guest appearances, it just never worked out for him after that. 1992, let's look at TV Guide, what was going on. This was the heartbeat of America back in that time. Cheers. Anybody remember that?
I used to watch that a good bit.
It was on the TV Guide on this date back in 92. I don't remember. Wasn't he the mailman that was... No, there's the mailman. What did this guy do?
I think
Just
he was
drink
just.
beer all day?
I think he was just a businessman that came in and drank every day. But then Woody Harrelson, you know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of top actors.
And then Frasier would be on to be a huge television show out of that.
yeah, and Shelley Long.
Yeah, she was great on that show.
Ted
She left.
Danson.
I never
Yeah.
really cared for Ted in anything that he done, ever. He just wasn't my type of guy. Now, y'all may think he was most wonderful. Now, Denise says, back up. Hold on, Scotty Ray. You're spreading bad rumors. She said it was a great TV show, Father Dowling.
It was. I mean, it was a pretty good show, but it was odd that there was a priest.
Okay,
and-
let's go ahead and talk
yeah.
about the next odd thing, the monk.
Yeah, I didn't get into that one.
I tried watching it, and every now and then it's on, and I look at it and go, yeah, it doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I didn't get into that one.
But hey, Murder, She Wrote,
It was
that
kind
was
of like he was
huge.
trying to be like Columbo with
was.
with a twist. Or something.
Here's another movie that I sat back, and a lot of people love this, and I thought, that's not quite my lifestyle. I'm going to go ahead
It's
and
still
turn this
funny.
off.
This guy is so. I mean, he's funny.
Austin Powers
Yeah.
debuted on this date back in 1997. What was it? The next one that come out, The Spy That Shagged Me?
I guess
Something like that.
He played the little guy that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't play the little one. He played the big guy that always did that. Yeah.
I personally
Crazy.
don't know any of my best friends that dress that way. And maybe that's where I have problem with TV shows and movies. I have to almost put myself in that character for a moment to relate. And men that dress that way, well, I can't relate with you. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now.
Well, he was supposed to be flamboyant looking dressing and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
flamboyant
but,
was a.
I know, but a lot of times I don't like movies like this because
Yeah.
they're so corny. There's just, I don't know, but he is so funny to me. He's a great actor. He played Cat in the Hat. I mean, have you ever seen that remake? The
No,
newest
I
Cat.
can't say that. I've watched that.
Just a great actor, yeah. So,
Okay. Betsy says her husband loved Monk. He was the episode that I watched last week was apparently he was like a germ freak, and he was
yeah.
constantly not wanting anybody to touch him. And I was like,
yeah.
huh. Barnaby Jones didn't do that. And I liked him. Dan Tana, Vegas. I liked all
I
that.
know there are people like that are. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of germophobic in a way about stuff, but I'm not to the point to where when I go in a restaurant, I have to get a napkin to pick up the salt shakers. Or
Well, all I'm going to tell you is
Elvis open the door.
Elvis's mama brought him silverware every day to school. That's all I'm going to say about that. Back in 2011, it would end. The bad guy would be caught. Anybody remember this on this date? Hard to believe that that's 11 years ago. Osama bin Laden was killed. He was in a hideout and they got him.
It really surprises me. I've seen it several times that they announce the person who actually did the killing of him.
Yeah, I know.
I just can't
that
believe that
usually
they
puts
put that out there.
A bounty on your head.
Yeah, but they do, and they'll have him on the news. This is the person who killed Osama. And I think that's kind of
Boy, there's
not real safe. But
this is a teeter-totter here of the Monk. There's a lot that say they love it. A lot of people
Yeah.
going, I didn't like that either.
yeah, it's not one I really got into. But I mean, of course,
So what is your favorite TV show ever?
I don't know. I like funny TV shows. Like I'm comedy. Yeah, I like to watch comedy. I'm not real big on. We'll watch mysteries, but I hate scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like TV show that come on every
TV
week.
show that you used to watch. What was your favorite one?
I still love like Three's Company and the old ones.
Okay.
I
right.
still like stuff like that.
Alex, I'm going with the Dukes of Hazzard for 20 points. That was my favorite
Yeah.
of all time. I'd have to do that.
I did like the Dukes of Hazzard too, but
I always worked out there. I saw a picture this week, now that you mention it, of the original when they were in Georgia, the Boar's Nest. This will
Yeah.
shock you. The Boar's Nest is now a church.
oh really?
It's still there, but it's a
Huh.
church.
Okay.
They've converted it. It's a little bitty church.
Yeah.
But
I kind of like that. Have you ever watched the show that had Tim Allen, Last Man Standing?
I've only watched one episode of that. I hear it's great.
I think it's funny. I like it. There's some stuff in it that I don't like, but I think it's really funny.
Overall, you give it a
Yeah,
thumbs up?
I do.
Tim Allen, a good actor.
Yeah, because it's pretty much, it depicts real life in some situations. He's real conservative acting. He's not.
Oh, we're getting a lot of comments here. John likes Two Broke Girls. I watched that one.
Is that the mama? No.
There's two
I'm
waitresses, if I remember right.
thinking, there's one on that is called something Mom or something. I don't know. It comes on the same channel that the
Mary-
2.5 Men and
But
this
Mary
other.
says that her favorite show is 2.5 Men.
Yeah,
Back when Charlie was on there, I've got to give you credit. It was funny.
It is. Some of it's pretty funny. I wouldn't want my kids to sit in the room and watch it though.
Eric, Blue Bloods, says that was good. Deal or No Deal is being brought up here. Let's see. We've got Gilligan's Island. John
Yeah.
Thompson says that was funny.
Yeah, he says Mom. I don't know if
that
that's
a
the
movie?
show. There's a show that's on. I do not like that.
Or is that your new favorite?
No, it is not my favorite. I don't like it. When we camp, a lot of times it'll come on the station that we're watching it. I have to flip it off. I can't take
It just ain't your
I
thing.
mean, it's like some raw stuff they put out there. I mean, like bold, and I don't know. I wouldn't think that stuff like that would be on regular television, but now nothing surprises me, I guess. So,
Well, there you
Anyway.
go. All right. We got an update from Jackson this week from the National Weather Service. And guess what's coming up this week? Storms on Thursday. We are at a level 2 as we pull this up. Let me show y'all to be prepared for this. Well, we'll try to give you the latest breaking news. And this is pretty breaking here. It is to me anyway when it comes to weather. Let me get back to my button here and show you here. This is what we've got coming on Thursday. This is going to be the Delta Area 3, Meridian Area 2. So be on standby. All of this weather that's been going on in Kansas starting to make its way towards us.
oh goodness.
We'll keep you up on all of this. More coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace as we take you through this Monday morning, May the 2nd. Y'all stay close. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
I've lived in Mississippi my entire life. The people of Mississippi are my people. So when someone from here comes to me for help, I take that personally. Always have, always will. One call, that's all.
Okay, we still got a lot of comments coming in. Gunsmoke ranking up there as one of the best out there. Even Chrisley knows best. Did I say that correctly?
Uh-huh. Now that is, the Chrisley knows best. That is a funny one too.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Bill Reinhart, Dick Van Dyke Show, The Golden Girls, Bewitched, and The Nanny. Now, The Nanny is funny. Mm-hmm. Do me a Mr. Sheffield. Come on, let me hear you do it.
Mr. Sheffield.
How she would say it. How Fran Dresser would always say that.
Mr. Sheffield.
That woman in her voice.
I don't know. But look, I will admit, all I usually watch nowadays is like these fixer-upper shows. I like watching those.
Wait a minute. Angela put this out there. The 70s show. That was good. Mm-hmm. I have never watched Blue Bloods. I hear it's good. Now, My Name is Earl. I liked Earl Hickey. That show was funny to me. Black Sheep Squadron was really good. Boy, there's so many great comments up here. I love Lucy and The Heat of the Night. Mm-hmm. It does, LaDonna says, it reminds her of the Meridian area. And it was so relatable to us. They were always looking at I-20 and Newton.
In The Heat of the Night, it reminds me so much of my papa, because my papa was a county patrol guy.
Right.
I mean, deputy.
Can you sing that theme song, In the Heat of the Night? Boy, that was a good theme song. Yeah. Had a bluesy kind of sound to it.
Yeah.
As we look at our next story here, we want to bring this up. There's more than meets the eye on this story, I'm afraid. As it first went out, I think there was a lot of confusion in our area to begin with, thinking that it was a Lauderdale County deputy that was missing. It was a Lauderdale County, Alabama deputy that was delivering a inmate. Now, there's two sides to this. Supposedly, she picked up the inmate to go have an evaluation at a hospital from the jail. As they dug deeper in this, they found out that he didn't have an appointment. I've heard it on both sides of the fence of, did she help him? We don't know. The car was found in a convenience store parking lot, like in a mall parking lot. They have not seen them. There's a $10,000 reward if you've seen anything that is out there. It's scary. As we look at the next headline, the next headline is that maybe she was taken against her will. We don't know the truth. Why did she go pick him up if there was not a set appointment? Is there more to it than we know? Is this the initial headlines that are, I don't know. We don't want to accuse anyone of anything, but she is missing. And we certainly hope that she is found. This is who she is. Right here, she is the sheriff's deputy that works at the jail that was going to do the transportation. And here's the bad guy. If you see any of these folks, no matter where you're watching, call police immediately. She could be in immediate danger, whether she meant to pick him up or she didn't. There's so much we don't know on this, but her life is in danger. He's in jail for some bad things. So y'all send up a little extra prayer for this lady. She needs it right now, no matter where she is.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm. And I was looking at the pictures.
Being in Alabama, they could be this way.
Yeah.
They could have
went toward Huntsville. They could have come to the Meridian area very easily. So we don't really know the answers to that. As we go across and take a look at, this is awful. There was a lady that was attacked by her neighbor's dogs. She's taken to the hospital. She was in pretty bad shape. The state agency that goes and inspects this shows up at the home, and again, this is in Alabama, to check on this, is attacked by the same dogs and killed. She was attacked by 7 dogs. I don't know if murder is the word, but she was killed. They've already euthanized a couple of dogs already on this, and the homeowner is going to be charged with some type of crime. We don't know what. But the other lady's in the hospital, critical condition.
That's horrible. 7
dogs. That could be very dangerous.
That's awful. Awful, awful. Winnie Bartley said on this other thing that the lady was breaking the rules by moving him alone. I was wondering why they would have somebody alone and not somebody with them,
and
if it was planned.
6 hours went by before they even noticed it. Here in our area, the police have to check in. They're checked on every 15 minutes. Hey, where are you? You okay? They do that no matter where they are. If an officer, officer, gets out and checks on a car and doesn't check back in, they're going to call him on his cell phone. They're going to call him on his radio to make sure that he's okay. There's a lack of something that went on. 6 hours is a long time for someone to be missing and no one notice it. Just so you know, I thought you might want to know that.
That's odd.
Very odd. We hope that this has a good ending. We certainly do. As we get ready for this summertime and you don't want to go out and it's too hot, well, we got the folks that'll come clean your place for you. Godwin Cleaning Services. They got an office here in Meridian as well. They've been downtown cleaning the train station, getting it all back to normal and looking great again. Swing by, see how great it looks there. They got all the equipment, no matter how tall you're building, as you can see there, to get to the top. I'm just glad I'm not the one in the bucket.
Me too.
But they'll do it. As simple as getting your roof. Here's the house here. Now let's look at the roof, how it looked before. That pecan tree look. Y'all all know that. Now it's spick and span. It's been clean. As we look at driveways, that looks even better there. Straight up the hill there, all the black mildew is gone. You've got sidewalks that are returned to new, and even decks. As you can see there, that's got all that old mildew there. Looks great again. Doesn't take them very long. That's the steps. Look at the difference in that. Is your place looking like this? Don't know how to do it? See, they didn't even take all the paint off. You get somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, y'all know.
Bring them out to my house on my deck.
From billboards to getting rid of all of this on all your scoreboards, they take care of you. Roofs, night and day.
That is like night and day.
Talk to them. Godwin Cleaning Services. They'll make it simple and affordable. 601-253-8262. Give them a call today.
If you or a loved one has been in a serious car accident, call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates.
We'll come to you, work to get you the right medical care, and fight to get you every dollar you deserve. One call, that's all.
Call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates today.
Oh, yeah, we're back again. That was quick. As we look at other stories that we look across here, somebody was stabbed in, if you're thinking of going to New York City, there in Times Square, they were stabbed. Killed him, too. Bill Murray, I don't know if you're up to all of this. He's been accused of inappropriate behavior.
I had seen that a while back.
He didn't go into explanation, but he goes, it was a joke. He goes, it was just taken wrong. He didn't say what he did, and they haven't said what he did, but he says it was a joke, and it was taken in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, a lot of times these days, things are, Johnny Depp, for example, taken away, and he was fired before any investigation. They've paused this movie that he's on over this. Now, do I 100% say that Bill has done something wrong? I'm not going to go there, because America has gotten so big into jumping the gun and making someone guilty before they've had a chance to plead their case.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I knew what it was, that he did. But I think that is the case a lot of times, is people will be joking. But I guess you just got to know who you can joke with. I mean, you don't just go out there and think you can joke with anybody. I don't know.
As we go over to Atlanta, 15 people were hurt over the weekend. How? Look at this. This is called the Party Barge. It's a little thing that runs up and down the streets of Atlanta, and you can ride on it. They took a curve too quick, dumped everybody. Several were taken to the hospital. As we look at our last story, I think that we can get in, Meghan Markle is getting canceled. Oh, no. Could it happen? Yes. They're not going to produce a TV show called Pearl on Netflix that was going to be based on her childhood. Cutbacks have hit Netflix. She's been cut. I don't think there's going to be many people that are going to be upset over this at all. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So that's a few of the headlines that happen across our area. As always, send us a note. Tell us what you like. And if you've got a favorite TV show, not too late to post that on there. It's good that we'll talk more in depth on that one day.
Yeah, we'll have to. But we hope y'all have a wonderful day. And we'll see you back next show, which is in the morning, 8 a.m. So,
unless she wants to come back in the middle of the day and do something, I'll let her. I'll just hit the button and let you talk all you want.
But y'all stay safe today and enjoy some sunshine.
See you soon from Scotty Ray and Candace.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: